Hello my dear friends, welcome to day 7 of the 10-day SQL mini project challenge, and I am so excited because today's session is going to be super excited and truly transformational for your SQL journey. In fact, not just today, tomorrow and the day after that are going to be total game changers for this project. Now, today's session is divided into two main parts. In the first part, which will take up to 1/4 of the today's session, here we will cover important SQL syntax related to modifying your database structure. Suppose you want to change the name of the table, you want to alter the columns. We will just simply see the syntaxes of that so that you should know it. And then in the second part, we will work on summarized queries, the kind of queries that turn raw data into a real business insights. And these insights are the insights you will actually use to build a meaningful, polished project report. So by the end of today's session, you will have everything you need to create a professional level SQL project report that you can simply upload on LinkedIn or link it to your resume, or even you can showcase it to GitHub as well. So let's start today's session, guys. And let's firstly have a look over this syntaxes for the table and data management. Suppose you want to add a data into the table. You want to add a new data, right? So for that, you have to simply use this syntax, which is insert into, then you have to put the name of the table, and then the column names you have to provide. These columns names should be in the sequence. Suppose in the order table there are columns order ID, order name, order details. Suppose these are the columns. So here you have to mention all these columns sequence wise. Then you have to write value here. Values, this word you basically have to put. Then after that you have to provide the values of that corresponding column. Okay, suppose for the first column, which is order ID, you want to give the value of 2020. So you have to put that here. And here you can see, wait, I have given the example as well. So here insert into, suppose in the customers table, you want to insert a data. So for that, you have to give the name of the columns, customer ID, customer name, and then the city. Then you have to write this keyword values. Then inside the parentheses, you have to provide the corresponding values. Customer ID 1, customer name Amit, city Delhi, likewise. All right, so I will give you this whole PDF of the syntax when I will provide the challenge PDF. Into that PDF I will merge this as well, so you can see whenever you need it. Now suppose you want to update the existing data, you want to do some modification in the existing data. So for that you have to write the update keyword. Okay, you have to write update, then you have to provide the name of the table. So suppose in the customers table you want to do this updation, so you will write update customers, and then you have to write set, this keyword you have to write, which is set, and then provide the column name in which you want to apply the changes. So suppose your column is city column. In this city column, you want to change the value. So you will write here city equals to Mumbai. You want to put this Mumbai somewhere. Okay, where exactly you want to put this? Where customer ID is 1. So you have to give the condition. So if where customer ID is 1, you want to change that row. So here is whatever city, previous city is written here, it will then change to the Mumbai one. All right. Now, suppose you want to delete the row, any particular row you want to remove. So for that, you have to simply write delete from, then the name of the table, which row you want to delete, where city is Delhi. So the city, where city is Delhi written, the whole row will get deleted. Okay. Now this time you want to alter the table. You have to modify the table structure, and table structure means the name of the column, the data type of the column. So at first, if you want to add a new column, then how can you add? You have to write alter table, because at this time you are doing the changes in the structure of the data. So for that you will write alter table and then the table name. Okay, and then you have to write here add keyword and then give the column name that you want to add and the data type of that column. So this is the example, alter table customers table. Okay, add what you want to add, which column you want to add. You want to add phone number column, so you have to write phone number with the data type. All right, now suppose you want to change the data type of a particular column. So for that you have to write alter table, then the name of the table, then modify and the column name and suppose you want to change its data type to big int, so you will have to write the big int here, new data type. Then you want to remove the data. You want simply to remove the whole column here. So how can you remove the whole column? You have to write alter table, then the name of the table. You have to mention this keyword, which is drop. Okay, drop column you have to write, then you have to provide the name of the column. So suppose phone number column you want to delete, then you have to write here phone number and the whole column will get deleted. Okay. So till here you know how to change the table structure. You know how to change the values inside the table. Now if you want to rename, means you want to change the name of the table. You want to change the name of the column. So for that you have to use this keyword, which is rename. Firstly, let's understand how can we rename our table. So rename table, then old table name, then we have to use this keyword to, and then provide the new table name that you want. Okay, then you rename a column. For that, write alter table, then the table name. Rename column, you have to write rename column, then old column name, provide old column name, then this keyword to, and then the new column name you have to write here. So by following these syntaxes, you can simply do the changes, do the updations, and you can delete also. So these are the syntaxes for that. Now, and I definitely send this PDF to all of you. Now let's move to the second part of this session. And for that, firstly, we have to open our MySQL workbench. So let's open it. Okay, so firstly, mention that I'm going to use online food delivery database. And let's run it. Okay, now we have entered in our database. Now we are going to perform summarized queries. Okay, summary query. So right here. Okay, now what is our first query? So first query is to get the total orders per city. Okay, here what we want total orders per city. So for that, which column we need to select? Which column we need to select? We need to select total orders, correct? But there is no such column called total orders. So to get the total orders, what we are doing? We have to count the order ID, isn't it? We are counting the order IDs to get the total order, right? Fine. Then per city. So we have to select another column, which is city column, right? And it is written per city. It means we also use the group by thing. This group by clause we will use, right? Now, see it very carefully, guys. We know the process. We know how to write the codes. Now we are efficient enough to write the code here. So let's write the code firstly, and then I will tell you a very important thing that will make you an analyst. Okay. So firstly, select city, and city is in restaurants table. Okay, so we have to write here r dot comma count of order ID, and order ID exists in orders table. So o dot order ID. Now give it one alias name, nickname. It is total orders. Fine. Now from which table? So from orders table, define it with the O, and join this table with the restaurants table. Restaurant table R. Fine. Okay. On which basis? So on where orders table restaurant ID is equal to restaurants table restaurant ID. Fine. This is easy till here, right? We have already practiced enough. Okay. Now we also know that we have to use here group by. So group by city, we want the results city wise. Now let's run this firstly. Okay, let me run it. So here it's our result. Here we have city and the total orders. Okay. And you can see the total orders are coming in very haphazard way. They are very random. So let's arrange it in some manner, in some proper manner. So let's arrange it in descending order. So for that we need to write order by total orders in descending manner, right? Now run it again. Now we have a table, output table, and in this table you can see the maximum number of orders has been placed in the Jaipur city, right? Then second highest is in Hyderabad and the least orders were in Ahmedabad city, correct? Okay, so this is something which is useful to get the insight. Now what this insight is telling us. So firstly, let's understand what this insight is about. So it is basically saying that Jaipur, Hyderabad and Delhi have the highest number of food orders, okay, compared to the other cities, right? Listen very carefully guys, very carefully, because whatever I'm saying right now, you have to use it later. Okay, so this is a basic insight. Let me write it also. What this insight is saying that Jaipur, Hyderabad and Delhi have the highest number of food orders, okay, compared to other cities. This is our insight. Now when you will make the report that we will do in our last sessions, when you will make report, in that report you have to mention this insight, and this will make your report stand out, okay? Here you have to explain your insight. So simply you can explain like, this insight helps the business to understand which city have the highest food ordering activity, okay? Now what this insight is saying, what it is telling to us, so it is telling that these cities are the most active markets, okay? They are the most active markets. What else? If they are more active markets, then we can focus on more marketing efforts, okay? We can focus marketing efforts. What else? We can arrange special offers. This also helps in planning expansion strategies. So expansion strategies, okay? What else? We can improve operations in other cities as well, okay? By focusing on what points, we can basically improves our operation in these cities where order quantity is very less, right? So these are called our insights, and when we will mention these things in our reports, then our report will look more professional, okay? Now let's do one more query. Queries are easy guys, you can easily do them, but now you have to think like an analyst, okay? So our next query is saying to get the revenue generated by each food item. Now one more thing guys, before proceeding to our second query, that you have to save this table, you have to export this table, okay? This will be helpful when we will do our tomorrow's or day after tomorrow's task. So to save this exact table, what you have to do, you can see here this icon, export icon. Once you will click over this, you have to reach the path wherever you want to save the file, and then you can write here the name of this file, whatever you want. I am giving it datapencil.1, okay? And then simply save it, and I will recommend to save these files in a separate folder. So now save. This table has been saved, okay? And if you want to see your saved file, so you simply have to open that folder and then open your file, and here your saved file is, saved table will be shown like this, okay? Here are the cities and here's the total order, and you have to save it guys, it is mandatory. Now come to our second query, and second query says to get the revenue generated by each food item. So what columns we are looking for? So first one is the revenue generated. Now as we know that there is no direct column named revenue, so to get the revenue, what we need the price, okay, as well as we want the quantity, and when we will multiply this price with the quantity, we will get the revenue generated. And here it is written by each food item, by each food item. So we also have to do the sum, okay? And the second thing that we need to select is the item name. The second column is item name that we have to select. Okay, so let's do this. So right, select. We want to select the item name, and item name is in menu items table. So here write m dot item name, comma, m dot price multiplied with the order details dot quantity. Okay, and we want the revenue generated by each food item, so we want the sum also. We have to put this sum function, and then give an alias name as total revenue. From which table? So from menu item table, M, as well as join it with the order details table. On what basis? So on where menu items item ID is equal to the order details item ID. Now we want it by the now we want the result for each food item, so we will write group by m dot item name. Okay, let's run it, and before running, let's this also arrange it in descending manner. So order by total revenue descending. Now let's run it. Order details. Okay, DETAILS. Okay, here I haven't defined this order details table, so here we have to also write OD. Okay, and now run it again. Fine. So here it's our result, and in this result you can see item name along with their revenue. So aloo paratha has the highest revenue, as we have arranged the table in descending manner. Correct. Now we have to save this also. So let's save it with another name. So I am saving it with this name. Okay, now let's open if you want to see how your table looks like. So it is something like this. Now the important thing is about the insights. So what insight this query is giving? So it is basically giving what? It is giving the best performing food items in the terms of revenue, in the terms of earnings. So which one is the best performing? It is the aloo paratha. So we can write here best performing food items. Okay, the insight that we are getting is the best performing food items. Now here you have to explain it a bit more. So you can write that aloo paratha, fish curry, and Hakka noodles, they are the top 3 food items generating highest revenue. So how this insight is helpful for us, guys? So basically this insight is showing, what it is showing, that the food item which is aloo paratha, fish curry and the Hakka noodles are contributing most to the total revenue, and it is also it can help our business to identify the best seller. So by observing this, the company can promote these items more prominently. Okay, so here we can mention in the detail section that we can promote it more prominently on app or website. What else? We can also ensure the consistent availability, and the delivery should be faster. So faster delivery for such high revenue items, because they are high in demand as well. Correct. So let's write the last point as well. We can ensure consistent availability and faster delivery. So this is the way you can write your insights. You can mention your insight. Okay, basically what message you are extracting from this query. This is insight, and how this message is helpful for the growth of the business. So you have to now think like an analyst. You have to think how it is helping. The remaining 3 queries that you can see now on the screen, firstly you have to do the coding part, and you also have to write these insights somewhere else in the some rough sheet or wherever you want, because these insights we will use it in the future days. So you have to keep it safely. All right guys, now do your task guys and submit it. See you tomorrow with some new interesting topics. Till then, take care, keep practicing. Bye bye.